Welcome to the Now, I'm Ashely Jenkins.
And I'm Ellis.
If you've been saving up bottle caps hoping you can finally turn them into a shiny new Xbox One, you might actually be in luck. Microsoft's console has had yet another price drop, marking its third discount in just 2 months. Now it's down to bottle caps.
Never a sign that things are going well when you have to keep begging people to buy your system. We thought we'd take a look at how Microsoft has priced their consoles in previous generations to see how the Xbox One stacks up.
While a cheaper Xbox is to be expected in order to clear inventory ahead of the release of the Xbox One S, the aggressive price cuts from Microsoft over the last year in particular have been more than a little bit telling about the console's success.
At the rate they're going, the Xbox One is about to end up as one of the claw machine prizes in Walmarts across the country.
It isn't yet?
The new price for the basic 500 gigabyte version of the Xbox now sits at $249.
Yeah, that $249 price tag will be effective immediately across retailers like Best Buy and Amazon, and even includes a game. Currently, there are bundles featuring titles like Gears of War Ultimate Edition, Quantum Break, Forza Motorsport 6, and Rise of the Tomb Raider. And yes, Forza is pronounced Forza.
As we said earlier, Xbox One is no stranger to price cuts, having 3 since June. The first one came just ahead of E3 when they shaved the system down to $299, and then again just after E3 when they announced it would be $279 for a limited time.
Yeah, well, they weren't wrong. It was very limited, and then went down again instead of up. Wonder how all those $279 suckers feel now.
Another drop in price suggests the initial price drop after E3 was in hopes to move a few more Xboxes before the Xbox One S comes out on August 2nd, but apparently it didn't really go over so well.
Now Microsoft has to get even more aggressive to make some space for the Xbox One S, but really it seems like this may just be enticing people to buy the boring old version. In contrast, the 500 gigabyte version, 1 terabyte version, and 2 terabyte models of the Xbox One S are coming in at $299, $349, and $399 respectively. So kind of it just makes this like a fourth tier, like the lowest possible tier. This was the arcade of the current generation. You remember the Xbox 360 arcade, right? The one that nobody wanted. Did you know it didn't initially, it was even called an arcade at first? I think the very, very beginning one didn't even come with an HDMI port. Yeah, I know, I had one of those.
Nope, it was component and what, no gigs?
0 gigs.
0 gigs.
Core.
Oh, the core, that's what it was called. Thank
core,
you, Eddy.
yeah.
God damn.
All told, this means the Xbox One has had 5 separate price cuts since it first came out in 2013, which, if you haven't lived through as many generations as some of us old folks, it's a little abnormal.
In fact, that's almost as many price cuts as both the Xbox 360 and the original Xbox combined. The Xbox One first launched in November 2013 at a whopping Connectified $499.
Rightfully so, the response to the Kinect-only Xbox did not go over so well.
I liked the Kinect. That's bullshit. Look, I don't use it for
It's
what
a
it was
turd.
intended for. I don't care about motion games or anything like that. But I do now get very upset when I walk in a room, Xbox doesn't recognize me and sign me in, or listen to me.
So you want a camera and a microphone.
Yes.
A webcam, all right. The response to the Kinect-only box did not go over so well, and Microsoft pulled their Xbox 180 by June 2014, when they removed the Kinect from the 500 gig basic model and reduced the price to $399.
And this is where it gets a little bit more confusing. By Christmas season of that year, they announced a temporary deal that would slash the Xbox down to $349. In January, they said, okay, fine, we'll leave it for a little bit longer, but it won't be permanent. And then in June of 2015, they just said, oh, fuck it, now it's $349 for the long haul. Who were we joking? We weren't joking at all.
We've seen a few other deals here and there over the 2015 holiday season, and extending through the spring until the other price drops we've seen here over the summer.
Which is a whole lot of number juggling to be doing that within just 3 years of the console's life cycle. The Xbox 360, for instance, only saw 4 total price drops over its lifetime, spread out over 5 years. A little bit different.
A little bit. To be fair, they did a lot of ninja moves by switching off all those different versions and discontinuing old stuff, so it's hard to tell exactly.
Right, but you could then also argue that the Xbox One S is like the Xbox 360 Slim, and still didn't end up with that. The original Xbox that actually had fewer, even, than all of that, but all 3 of its price cuts were within its first 3 years. So maybe it's just going for original Xbox numbers.
Looking at the numbers of other consoles and how they adjusted their prices early on in their lifetime, this actually seems like the most any console has to shift its price so quickly. The PS3 changed its price tag a handful of times quickly, but it also introduced a number of different models to try and find the right balance.
Which ultimately worked out for Sony because Xbox 360 had a huge lead early on them, similar to the disparity we're seeing right now between the PS4 and Xbox One, except the PS3 came out a year later and made up a whole lot of numbers really quick.
Beyond looking at how many times the price of the system was cut, we can also look at how much it was cut. The $249 Xbox One is basically one half of what it originally launched at $499. To be fair, they included a Kinect, but there was no Kinectless option when it released, so that's the number we're rolling with.
Yeah, we're committed. The PS2 dropped its price by about $100. It went from $299 to $199 in 2 years, and then went on to become the biggest selling console of all time. As long as you're not counting handhelds, I think. The GameCube, however, dropped by half in less than 2 years, from $199 to just a random $99. And similar to the PS2, the original Xbox dropped its price by a third. That was within the first 6 months, though.
So we've seen other systems adjust their strategies in the past before, to varying degrees of success. Still, it's definitely a bit unprecedented for Microsoft to have pivoted so much in such a short time frame since the launch of the Xbox One.
While we don't know the actual install numbers for the Xbox One in total, because Microsoft hasn't exactly been sharing the numbers with NPD, we do know it's somewhere around the 20 million mark thanks to numbers released by major publishers.
Microsoft may say they care more about Xbox Live users than hardware sales.
Sure they do.
But selling more Xboxes is a way to achieve that goal, and it helps to diminish the lead that Sony has.
Yeah, we'll have to see if all these gambles pay off, especially once the Xbox One S hits next month, with Scorpio hitting sometime holiday 2017. Who knows? Maybe it'll be a turning point for the console this generation. God knows they need one.
What do you guys think of Microsoft cutting the price of the Xbox One for the third time in 2 months? Let us know in the comments.
And let us know if you're gonna pick one up now that it's nice and cheap. And for future updates on Microsoft and Xbox, like this video and subscribe to The Know. Welcome to The Know, I'm Ashely Jenkins.
And I'm Adam Ellis.
If you've been saving up bottle caps hoping you can turn them into a shiny new Xbox One, you might actually be in luck. Microsoft's console has had yet another price drop.
The Prius first.
The Prius 3.
The Prius 3. It's the third generation of the Prius. It's stupid.